All right, guys, welcome back. We have another Stanley Cup rebuild here today. I gotta say, pretty excited about doing this one. It's been a struggle for us. There's no doubt about it. We've been struggling to win the Stanley Cups with these, but I don't want to give up. Want to go out there and try to do our best to continue improving, continue to get better, and eventually bring home that Stanley Cup. It's felt like quite the challenge. I can't express enough how much I appreciate you guys in the comments down below, always trying to give us newer tips, more advice on getting better with our franchise build. But today we're going to be rocking the New York Islanders, Barzal, Bailey, Varlamov. Going to be interesting to see what we do with this Islanders team, because it is a team that very frequently seems to have older good players on the trade block when we do these videos. So how they kind of respond to probably getting stuck on this team should be interesting. But I gotta say, I think our number one issue with these rebuilds has been we get into a rush. And I think somebody actually mentioned in a comment that I seen, I was like, that's exactly what I was thinking. We get into a hurry because the dang computer frustrates me. It really frustrates me when you go and make like a player trade where you're clearly giving them like 3 times the value, and it doesn't matter what player it is, what team it is. EA seems to always not want to give them away. I know a lot of those guys aren't on trade blocks, but in a lot of cases, like with the New Jersey Devils, we weren't going to get a bunch of trade block pieces and make that team good. You had to get really good players that teams weren't want to give up. But to be able to give up double and triple for the value for some of these guys, it's tough. But let's take a look at these lines. First line is Bailey, Barzal, and Lee. This is where things get interesting quickly, because these are the guys getting paid. We're getting Anders Lee getting paid $7 million a year. Bailey's getting, did we go the wrong direction here? Lee, Bailey, Anderson. Who am I missing here? Oh, Bailey's on the first line. Who's getting paid more? Was it Brock Nelson? Oh, you know what it is? They haven't switched backwards. Lee was playing on the wing there a second ago. They had him on the other side. So there's Anders Lee getting paid a whopping $7 million a year. Then you have Barzal getting that cheap, and then Josh Bailey in there as well. How well do they fit scheme-wise there? A middle of the pack. Barzal not very favored on this team. It's unfortunate to see that, but it's one of those things. If that's the case, where he fits that not well, if that's proper language, not at all, on this team with Sanford, do you consider trading a guy like Barzal? That's a big step. I don't think you can, because he's under that cheap contract. You can't. You got to make that work. Unfortunately, we're dealt the hand we're dealt with the scheme from the coaching staff. But when you get dealt a guy like Matthew Barzal on an entry-level deal, you pretty much have to work with it, because anybody you want in his trade value in return is going to cost you like $7 million a year. Of course, we can move Anders Lee and make room for that, but Eberle looking good there on his second line. Brassard, same story, and so is Brock Nelson. So we like the way these guys are working. Brock Nelson's expensive, but you talk about paying that price for guys when you get to +3. So it's an 87, 85, 87 there on that line because of that. Bolivier, is it Bolivier? I'm sorry. I have heard his name a million times, and I apologize in advance to Islanders fans, but when I look at his name, I see 17 different pronunciations. I'm just calling him Anthony. I'm pretty sure it's Bolivier, though. So we're going to call him Anthony. Anthony on the third line, Clutterbuck, Zizekas, Komarov, and then Johnston. We're going to want to work on that, obviously, bottom 6 here quickly. Martin being a 77 overall, 2.5 mil salary. Johnson a 75. 2 guys we're probably not going to want to stick with here. So right away, we're going to have to look at probably free agency to fill a couple bottom 6 guys. Maybe trade away a guy like Matt Martin, who currently doesn't have a terrible scheme fit, but again, we can't afford the low overalls if we don't have to. Over here on defense, we have Polak and Nick Leddy on the first line, who, again, don't look too happy. At least Nick Leddy doesn't as far as playing with this coach. What's Leddy getting paid? $5 million a year at an 84. That's about the average price for defenseman, I'm realizing. Some guys are getting some nice deals on guys. That's it. You know, you want a top 4 defenseman, you're paying $5 million. Sometimes the third line D-man's getting $5 million a year. We'll take a look here for Dobson and Mayfield. Friendly contracts. I like seeing that. But I don't like seeing those overalls. Those are not pretty. We have best line set here, right? Yeah. So they would +3 someone if we had them. So we're going to leave that as is there. But again, we're going to probably start with free agency here. And I'm just, yeah, that doesn't matter though. Anders Lee, we'll mess with this a second here just to make sure we can't, yeah, it's not. Let's take a look at the power 4 player type. Something, again, we talk about where we get into a rush. And that is one thing I think I really love about franchise mode this year, is as much as we kind of get frustrated with the trade mechanism and everything with EA, the big thing here is there's so much depth in franchise mode these days. And, you know, you can look at player overalls and how good the players are and line chemistry and everything. But it always comes down to how well they play, you know, power forward, two-way forward, and sniper. So that's a good combination. The power forward, the two-way forward, and the sniper work well, at least in this coaching scheme. So if we could somehow maybe work that out some way on other lines, it might work out. Jordan Eberle being the sniper of that line. We'll see. We'll see. We're going to take a look at the free agent market right now, though. We're really just looking for some guys to beef up that bottom line or bottom two lines. Take a look at the contracts here real quick. Make sure we have the money to spend, or we might have a problem. Yeah, $7 million cap space. Actually doing pretty decent there are these New York Islanders. So we'll go straight to free agency. We will likely go down a route of dumping a contract or two, but for now, these guys aren't too pricey in free agency. Vanek looks like a decent player here. He is a third line sniper, though. I want to get more of a defensive guy. It might balance the line out a little bit here, though. Get a sniper. 85 defensive awareness, 80 shot, 84 stick checking. A guy that can do pretty well, but he does not really fit in our... he's just not scouted. Okay, can struggle with professionalism, but cares about winning. Vanek! Come on, you're a professional guy. I know that. Come on, EA. Show the guys some professionalism. So we'll just kind of go out and sign a couple of these guys and see how they fit in. Playmaker, Pominville. Those might be the answers there. Now, McQuaid and Phaneuf, not really liking what I'm seeing there. We can filter by overall. We don't have that filtered right now. I thought we did have it filtered by overall. There we go. Perfect. That's what we're looking for. Those look like the leading candidates. Leading candidates that don't want a lot of money, and that's going to improve. So we'll offer you a little bit more to make sure you take that deal. We'll do the same thing here with Pominville. He's only one entry-level money. I like this guy. I like what you're looking for, Palmer's over there. So we'll go ahead and sim up a couple games here. See if they do take those contracts or not. It'll make a big difference on, you know, as far as building depth on this team. If we're going to pay for more guys through free agency, or not through free agency, but through trading or not. I was extremely happy to accept your offer. Well, thanks, Pominville. Welcome to the AHL. You're going to be getting called up, though. Vanek, same story. Welcome to the team. Glad to have you guys. Teammates once again here. We'll move these puppies back up from the AHL, though. We want to see these guys, at least, no, not view lines, but we want to see what these guys can possibly bring to the table here for us in the NHL. They might not fit. They might not fit. If that's the case, we paid $1 million for two guys, and it's not a big deal. We didn't have the scouting reports in on these guys, so obviously it's going to be up in the air what they can offer for us. Well, why is Hickey in the AHL? What's wrong with Hickey? What's he doing down here? Hickey, 87, 87, 87. Is he hurt? Why is he in the AHL? There's got to be a reason for that, right? So we'll bring him up here as well. I guess we'll go Hickey, Pominville, and Vanek, and then we'll bring up or send down Jurgon, and Johnston. We'll send down the defenseman since we're calling one up. Aho, you're not going to be playing. Doesn't look like you want to play. Your role's a minor top two defenseman. Yeah, so you'll go sent down. You guys will go up. We'll confirm that. EA, one of the best lines us there for us. Thank you. Appreciate it. We'll see what you guys have on the table here for us. Hopefully something nice. Hopefully something... Oh, okay. All right. You didn't want to play these guys, did you? That's not what you meant by best lines, apparently. So we'll throw Vanek in there. Who is our other lowest overall? Martin's the guy I want to walk out the door anyway. He's at 2.5 mil. I think he's the most expensive guy down here. Oh, no, Cizikas is making 3.35. What's the difference here in Cizikas and Martin? It looks like he's a two-way guy. Plays good defensively. Decent passer, not much for a shooter. And I'm assuming you're going to be a little bit worse here if you're Martin being a 77. Lesser on the offensive side, lesser on the D. He's lesser everywhere. I do like Cizikas a little bit more, even though he's a little bit more expensive. So we'll probably keep him. Walk Martin out the door if we can. What is it? Right wing is Pominville play? Yeah. So we'll see how Pominville fits in here. Did not change the line chemistry from a plus and minus standpoint, but that's all right. That's all right. We'll be all right with that. I'm not concerned there. I just wanted to get a little bit higher overall guys on this team. It looks like Komarov could be a guy that can't win face-off draws, just to make sure that doesn't change anything. That improves that line, but it's not going to, it's going to hurt the other line. That's the problem. But Cizikas does need to come up here, I think. And if Pominville comes down, that'll balance it out a little bit. Yeah, if we don't have to get the minus, that would be fantastic. We have Sniper two-way and two-way. And then over here we have Grinder two-way and Playmaker. So if we get a Sniper there, you wouldn't think that would help that out? Who is a Sniper? It's Vanek? How would Vanek do on this line right here? If we move them up a line, I don't think it's going to make a difference, right? If we move them up a line? Yeah, well, okay. They like that. That looks better there. Komarov, Vanek. And do we want to put Anthony on the bottom line, though? I don't really want to. Yeah, we don't have to. Perfect. Komarov can stay there. All right, I like that. I like that setup there. Again, the defense is still a concern. We could upgrade. I want to get, I think, a bigger defenseman here. Even if it's an offensive guy. We have two-way. I think everything's two-way and one defensive. So if we could pick up an offensive defenseman, maybe that even helps out that first line a little bit there. I know Nick Leddy does not want to be here. Nope, terrible at being right here on that first line. He wants to be on his second line. It's not going to work for him, though. He's going to have to play on the first line, it looks like. Maybe, though. We could probably squeak Polak and somebody else in there with him, but who knows? We'll figure it out. We'll look for some defensemen here and see what we can find laying around. First thing we do want to do here, though, is try and... Can we not do the find trade button from here? Yeah, we cannot do the find trade button from here. I thought you could do that from the proposed trade screen. Looks like we got some decent prospects to work with over here in New York, though, so that should be helpful for us. But we want to try to find a place for our expensive forwards that we are no longer using. Who was it? Was it Matt Martin? Is that who I'm thinking of here? Yeah, Matt Martin. So we'll see what we can find for Matt Martin. And it looks like there's some offers out here. A couple 7, 6, French starter there, Reimer there. We don't want the contracts. Blue Jackets 2 7s. So it looks like that's what we're going to get is a couple 7s from every team here. So we'll go with probably the 6th round pick. Oh, there's a couple 6 and a couple 7s actually laying around here, so we could do that as well. We'll go with the 6th and the 7th. Best team there to choose from, probably. That's the reason we're getting it from those teams, is because they're not going to be as good, but we'll take it anyway from the Lightning. Get Martin off the books here for us, so that'll clear a little bit of cap space. We have a lot laying around, so we should be good there, but it still would not hurt. Man, we might be able to do it. We might be able to keep Anders Lee and Boychuk, though. $6 million a year, really, Boychuk? We'll see what happens. Calgary's looking like a team that wants to deal some defensemen. The question is, which ones do we want? And we really want Mark Giordano. They aren't willing to wheel and deal him, but we was talking about it. It'd be great to get a guy that is good all around, and he at low value, at an 88 low trade value. That is 88 overall. And you throw on a guy like TJ Brody, who fits on defensive pairing too. Giordano, again, does not fit on any lines, but we've learned that that happens to be accurate like half the time. Line scouted on defensive pairing 1, power play 1, 4-man power play. Okay, so he hasn't actually been scouted on anything past that anyway. So who knows if he fits there or not. So we'll take a look there. It could possibly work out for us there. Again, we'll talk about trade value here. It's $10 million in trade being sent to Calgary. And we're going to have to find a way, I think, to unload a little bit more cap here if we can. And we have guys that we can obviously walk out the door if we have to. We're talking $6 million, Nick Leddy, Hickey. Hickey's going to continue to be here. We do not need Pelesh, who is 1.6. Mayfield's getting benched, so that's another 1.4 that we can walk or, send somewhere else as well there. As far as the forwards are concerned, it's Andrew Ladd, right? Yeah, Ladd, $5.5 million a year. If we can move that off the books, I think we'll be in good shape here. But for now, let's see if we can make this trade work without having to move any further cap than we have already. So we'll talk trade value. Dodson's got that great trade value. Wow, if we want to win right now, Dobson's the guy to walk out the door too. Wallstrom's looking good though. I like Wallstrom, 19-year-old center. It looks like a solid player, but for now, he is a guy that is going to be considered a Calgary Flame. How are we looking on the cap? We are $3 million over in cap space right now, so we might actually have. I like this trade, but we might have to go out and try to move some cap here real quick from some other players in order to make this work. I do believe, and Leddy's going to be a guy like that. Not Leddy, but Andrew Ladd, who's making $5 million a year. Ladd, just gonna throw it out there in case you forgot. $5 million a year. And we might be able to move Boychuk as well if we have some extra space later on. I don't think they're going to take Andrew Ladd. I really don't. But that would make this work from a from a cap perspective. We might have to throw on a second and a third at minimum. We'll see what they think of this. But again, we're making him take Andrew Ladd's contract, which nobody seems to want, by the way. So it's kind of hurting us there. We don't want to do that if we don't have to, but we'll take a look at this. Trade rejected it pretty neutral on what you're asking us to cough up. It doesn't throw us, but we could live with it depending on what you send our way. And with that said, your groove met our trade block needs well enough, but the value of on the trade block is too far off. Okay, so the trade block value, it's too far off, and we can't put that on there. We got to find a way to get rid of Andrew Ladd. I don't know how we're going to do it. But if they like that right there, if we can just get Andrew Ladd off this team for whatever it's going to cost, and it's going to be expensive, that's the problem we're running into here, then we might as well just do it. Where's Andrew Ladd at? They like that. They like that trade, and Andrew Ladd's killing us, but we have to get him off the books. So who wants Andrew Ladd? Carolina does. They'd be over the cap. Chicago, same story. Who can fit him in here? Detroit. I knew you'd want Andrew Ladd. Detroit, the first line forward for you guys. What do you think about that? Detroit 7th. They're willing to trade it. We'll go Andrew Ladd, a 7th. And again, it's going to cost us something here. We'll go a 2nd. Probably going to need more than that. Andrew Ladd, trade rejected. It seems to be one of those occasions where the trade block paid off. In spades, Detroit could start a deal based on what you from us. But what you're offering us is, okay, perfect. Okay, so you won't take a 2nd round draft pick to take on that Andrew Ladd contract. I kind of expected that. So we'll go a 2nd, a 3rd. We're getting rid of all of our draft picks too early. I don't really want to waste these if we don't have to. But what you got to do to make cap space is what you got to do to make cap space. And, oh, jeez, I can't. EA. Yeah, we can't, EA. We can't. Just to get rid of Andrew Ladd? Jeez, they won't even take a 1st. This is the frustration we're talking about. Who wouldn't take a 1st? It's a $5 million a year contract for what? Oh, okay, 4 years. But they ain't going to be good for 4 years. Ah, that's an overpay and a half. Had to throw on an extra draft pick there. That's unreal. That is unreal, but it's going to work, hopefully. If it doesn't work, we're going to be hurting here. So we'll go best lines there. And we'll go back here and hopefully can make some waves with this Calgary team here. If we can't, then we really just hurt ourselves. But hopefully that's not the case here. Kind of cashing in on 2 defensemen. Calgary said we're looking at it. We like it. We'll just take Andrew Ladd off the books. They didn't actually say that, but, you know, I know they was thinking it. So we'll go Hannafin, or not Hannafin, but Brody and Giordano. And we was saying we would give up. Was it a defenseman prospect? It was not a defensive prospect. It was it was a center. That is right. A center and Wallstrom, so there's that. I don't think they'll do that straight up, but we're going to send it just to see what they think. Trade rejected. The Flames are pretty neutral on what you're asking us. Perfect. It's fine. Not a big deal. We'll make it work. We'll look at some draft picks here. We'll talk a 2nd and a 3rd. If that's all it takes, that'd be great. Yeah, it is. All right. Okay. Hello. I great doing business with you, Calgary. Call us anytime. Anytime you like. Let's make it work. Well, best lines that real quick. See what EA draws up for us here. 2 new defensemen. That should open up some cap space. So that's what we kind of want to see here as well. As if we have 2 new defensemen, we should be able to drop another one of these other D-men. Again, Nick Leddy, Tate. Oh, okay, EA, when I said best lines, I did not mean best lines for our forwards here. There it is. Yeah, Jared Dennis. See, that's what I was afraid of. He didn't fit on the team. We knew that coming into it. He'd be a -1 there, and he does not fit on. See, our coach does not like good players. They don't want Letty. He doesn't want Giordano. What if we swap out these 2 or this one? Yeah, Polak could play there. Okay, so what's Polak? Letty is a 2-way, and Polak is probably a defense. No, he's 2-way as well. He plays on every line, though. He plays a lot better. That would help us out right there if we could put Polak there. We're missing somebody else, right? Polak? No, Brody is the other guy, so we're good there. I know Brody ain't going to play with. Oh, no, he would not. That's proper. Yeah, so we'll keep Giordano there. It's a -1. I ain't worried about it if we can put it's Polak to Letty. I don't think that's a big change, and it still keeps that +1 on a 2nd line there. We'll see how Polak does this season. Again, pretty decent upgrade, I think, there. Taze and Hickey on the 3rd line. That should help us out there. Now we got to talk about the offense. Again, we have cap space. Actually, hold on a second. We got to see who we have laying around here. Taze has a entry-level deal. Hickey is cheap. So who are our current guys that are scratched on defense? Boychuk. That's what we wanted to see was Boychuk scratched because he's, what, $6 million a year? Good luck getting somebody to take on that contract, though. Let's see what happens when we put Boychuk in. Boychuk, Mayfield. Oh, Dobson's not playing. Dobson's got to go. Dobson's getting walked out the door. We got to quit saying walked out the door. That's like the 8 millionth and a half time. So we'll put you here. I just want to see. Nah, it's not going to work. Okay. I just want to see if a defensive defenseman would actually change the overall bit there. It didn't. So we can get rid of, again, Boychuk. I don't know if somebody's going to take him, but if we can remove Boychuk from the team, we are going to have a lot of cap space and some good prospects to talk about. Probably a winger here, or a center would be nice as well. We're hurting up the middle. I don't want to put, see, that's the problem, is Broussard fits with this line so well. Can we put that line on the 3rd line is the question. Nah, it's not going to work. That'll work, though. That'll +3 Pominville, Nelson, and Broussard there. And then we can see what we can work with from the 2nd line perspective. That might be an idea, possibly. Actually, no, we don't need to keep Broussard. Oh, Boyeve there. Anthony! Boyeve, we're calling it Anthony. We already cleared that up. But a 2-way forward as far as a center, that is what we're looking like would be a good piece for the 2nd line as center there. So we'll see what's laying around there. First and foremost, though, we got to try to dump off this contract. Again, I imagine nobody is going to go and take Johnny Boychuk. I'll go to the proposed trade thing as well. Struggling with this controller right here. The buttons are like half broken. How many controllers do you guys go through in a year? I gotta know the answer to this. Because playing NHL, let's say you play NHL a lot though, how many controllers are you going through? Because I feel like I go through like 3. If I would play NHL year round a lot, like consistently play online, I feel like I'd go through easily 4 controllers. And it's always the sticks. It's always the sticks, and I'm not even hard on the controller. So who are we getting rid of here? End rant there. You guys got to relate to that, right? Even on PlayStation. I've gone through like 3 PlayStation controllers. Literally never play probably more than 10 games a year on PlayStation. It's nuts. Get that with the show going. The show's coming out soon too. Excited for that. Coming to Xbox here soon. Open trade blah. Oh, we got trades. Oh, hi Calgary. Willing to send us our players back. I like it. They're actually, I like this. All right. What's Ennis though? Let's look at Ennis. Ennis is a right wing. He is a what overall? He's a top 9 guy. He's a 79. He's not gonna fit on our team. He's a fourth line guy. I thought maybe. It's not though. It's not gonna work. That's fine. We'll get the draft picks. I'm just happy we can get something for Boychuk with how expensive he is. So we'll take the Calgary trade and say go ahead and take him. We're not gonna use him anyway. That'll open up again some cap space. Who was our other player? There was one other guy. Was it a defenseman? I want to say it was a defenseman. Defenseman. Take a look here. We'll go by contracts. Yeah, it was right there. The AHL guy. We can get rid of him as well, I would assume here. No reason to keep a 1.6 million guy if we're not going to use him. So, yeah, that's going to be the other guy. We're going to see if we can find some sort of deal for real quick here. Just to get him off the books. Again, a 4th and grab. No, that's not going to happen. A 4th and a 6th. Take it. Go ahead. Enjoy it. Unfilled rosters in the minors. Go to roster moves. It's fine. As long as we have AHL guys, we're good here. We'll have some cap space. Yeah, best lines. That perfect. All right, so we got those guys off the books. Again, let's see if we can find ourselves probably a 2-way center first. I like the idea of going for the 2-way center, even though the wingers would be great as well. Here we go. Let's take a look at what we got again. I see Marchand. Pedersen. Oh, baby. Oh, yeah. That is a little expensive. Just going to throw that out there. We're going to scroll down here to the a little bit more price-friendly guys that we can afford. Jonathan Toews. That's expensive. Maybe we should have filtered contracts after all, hey? Perron, Forsberg, Konechny could be an interesting one. $5 million a year. Again, a 2-way guy. He's not really got the greatest face-off. So for a second line, he fit on all power play lines. What was he scouted for, though? He was scouted for the offensive line, too. Yeah, that's the line we want him for. So the fact that he doesn't fit there, that's concerning. William Karlsson, he's been with us before, and he killed us. Absolutely killed us. Fits on forward line 3, power play line 1, and then all penalty killing lines and forward line 3 is what he fits on. So Karlsson's not the answer either. Looking at Bergeron and Horvat. You look at the price difference, though. It does not cost that much more for Patrice Bergeron. But Horvat says, hey, I'll play on every single line. It'll be fantastic. It'll be great. We're going to try. Stop looking at Bergeron. He does not fit here. Bottom 6 forward line. Oh, that's beautiful. That's just what I'm going to do is trade for Zibanejad and throw him on the bottom 6. That's a nice fit. So, yeah, we'll go Bo Horvat. He fits here. He's somebody that says he'll fit on this line. I can't get past that Bergeron. No. An 86 overall with that sort of trade value, that still seems kind of steep here. But Dobson's going. Dobson's going to go out the door. And is that everybody? Is that our trade value for our entire team? I thought we had an AHL guy. Was the AHL guy already traded? That was probably our only AHL guy. I thought we had another one. Do we not? Yeah, we had a couple, but they did not have the same trade value here. You know what, though? We're going to try it anyway. Not rushing it, but that's a 91 overall compared to an 86. Just one try. Yeah, just one try. It'll be fine. It'll be great. You guys will love it. Yeah. Oh, the Bruins are totally unwilling to part ways with this deal. You're sending us, but not in this deal. Your offer is woefully insufficient when you consider what you're getting in return. I understand. You are giving us a pretty solid player. We will happily, and I mean happily, throw on 1 first-round draft pick and stop from there. Trade rejected, then go to trade block. Okay, but that is off. Okay, so you're not going to do that. It's fine. It's fine. I understand. I wanted to give it a try. We'll go back to Bo Horvat. That still would be a nice player to land. But if we can, a few more building pieces around Bo Horvat, that would be great. So try not to, go and waste all of our assets on one guy if that's the case here. Again, we'll talk Dobson and Wild. Maybe straight up. That's not going to work. We're still giving it up. Not enough, but we'll give it a try here real quick. Trade rejected. Then go to trade block. Gotcha. Perfect. Yeah, so we'll go back to our prospect here. We're going to have to overpay a little bit for somebody. It's going to just be the matter of who we're going to end up getting here. You did not want a prospect, but we're going to give you one. We're going to give you one for big old Bo. Yeah, that'll work for Bo. Trade was a little tough for Bergeron, understandably so, but picking up Bo Horvat, big addition to the team. We'll see how he fits in these lines here real quick. That was the two-way forward we needed. Now we probably still need to find ourselves a goal scorer, in all honesty. If we're going to find a goal scorer, I think that's a good start for us there. So we'll get rid of, Komarov's no longer going to be on the team. Bo Horvat can be on the team. And Horvat playing, that's not going to keep the plus there. I knew he was going to do that to us, EA. How did I know he was going to do that to us? Literally a two-way forward. And what else can you possibly want? Everybody else fits there. Everybody but you don't know Bo. Horvat does fit there on the first line, though. So we'll keep Horvat. That's not going to work. That's going to keep the +1. That's going to kill us if we can't keep the +3, though. Can we +3 the third line? Yeah, the +3 in the third line will still work. That makes me happy, I think. Even if it's a third line, it's some third line depth. Again, we'll talk about needing probably... no, Vanek's a sniper. Eberle's a sniper. So we probably need a playmaker. We can throw a playmaker in there in that line. Is that what we're looking at here? More than likely. I don't know. We'll see how Vanek looks on the... or Eberle looks on the first line here. I'm assuming not so high. Yeah, he's not. So we'll take a look here at a winger still. Nelson in the first line. He is not happy there. He is not happy here. Keep the +3 there. And see if we can likely what it's looking like here. Well, probably a goal scorer. We're going to go for a goal scorer. The two-way ability of Barzal is not really meshing with what our coach wants right now anyway. So we probably look either in the two-way forward. Yeah, maybe not even a goal scorer. Maybe a goal scorer that's not a sniper, because we have two snipers there that's not working out for us. We'll just take a look to see what's out there from a wing perspective. All right, we're going to make an executive decision here. Now, normally I do not like messing with the head coaches, because typically what you see happen is the good players under one coach are then bad under another, and the bad players under one are good under another. So in other words, it just kind of balances out. But we are looking at Sanford here, and there's something really glaring at me. Mark Giordano, Matthew Barzal. The two worst players on our team from a scheme fit perspective are our two best players on the ice. I don't think that can happen. That seems like... it just seems very counterproductive when guys like Derek Brassard and Anthony over here are our best scheme fit guys. Granted, they're on the bottom lines, and granted, that's great to have. We would rather see better production out of our top line guys like Andersley. Now, Brock Nelson's decent. Eberle's decent. Josh Bailey's decent. But if we could get Barzal and Giordano more into fitting this system, I think that'd be great here. So what we're going to do is look at some coaches here. We've went through a couple of them already. Chloe Supre's not really the answer here. Giordano's a huge upgrade. Don't get me wrong. Barzal's a slight upgrade. But then you see Anders Lee, decent. Bailey, decent. Eberle, decent. As long as you see it over half, I'm kind of happy there. But you still see Polak and Hickey not really enjoying themselves. Taze, Vanek, Brassard. So 57% when it comes to the fit there. When we look at Grabowski is 65. So he was the best one of them all. Now, granted, you look at Grabowski, one thing sticks out. Giordano still isn't maxed out, but it is a big upgrade. Barzal, still not, one of the most, I guess, shall we say, balanced or scheme-fittable players. He doesn't seem to fit in a lot of schemes. So I don't know if it's because he's younger and still in an entry-level deal. Maybe that's got something to do with it, but we went through a lot of these coaches, and Barzal does not seem to fit in with a lot. But Bo Horvat fits well. Giordano fits well. Anders Lee fits well. Again, the defense is important there. We're seeing a lot of balance across everybody. You don't really see a weak spot, again, besides Barzal and this guy. It looks like somebody that's a big winner here, if you ask me. So we're going to try to hire this guy. I think we have to fire somebody else first, and I'm scared to do this because I never know how to properly do this right. So we're going to fire this assistant coach. Yes, you're fired. That's perfect. Now we're going to go hire a coach, and it's going to be this Grabowski guy. He seems like the winner. Again, we're going to offer him. We'll make sure he wants to sign with us. We'll give him the money. There you go. Oh, thanks. You'll take a look at that. And then we'll have to fire the head coach. Because, see, last time we fired a coach, it said, hey, you got to promote a guy before you can go and hire another head coach. So even though this is a guy that is not a head coaching role, we're going to put him in that head coaching role because he does fit this scheme a heck of a lot better than our current head coach does. And I don't feel like the size of your team's market is what I'm looking for. So are you kidding me, Grabowski? Dude, do we have to go more? Robbie. Oh my. Okay, hang on a second. Who wants a good laugh? This guy just told us he doesn't want to be a part of our team because he doesn't like the size of the market. Now, let me remind you who exactly we are currently managing. The New York, let me repeat that, the New York Islanders. New York, one of the biggest sports markets in the freaking country, is not big enough for this guy. How much money do you want? You want $9 million a year? What do you think about that? Yeah, I want to thank you for your generous financial completion. Oh, thanks. Compensation completion. Glad you made it with us, pal. Welcome to the Islanders. We can go ahead and take a look again at what these lines are looking like with our new head coach in town. We lost the +3 there, which I'm not worried about. That's not a big deal. Again, there was a third line. Would like to see that in another line, which does not seem to be happening right now. There we go. Oh, yeah. What are you talking? I thought EA always gave you the best lines. There we go. Lee, Eberle, and Barzal. That's what we was looking for, was 3 guys that actually fit on a line together. Now, again, Barzal, he's better. It's a lot better than where he was before. Anders Lee wants to be that first liner, so that's perfect there. Bailey's good on the second. Horvat, not bad. And then Brock Nelson wants to be more on the first line than anything there, but again, we'll make that work, I think. Yeah, we'll be fine there. Palmer's is better on the second line. It's not going to happen. Anthony's perfect. Vanek's perfect. So we'll go back to talking about guys who can not play. Who scratched you? What's going on here? Oh, okay, that's fine, I guess. All right, perfect. Komarov, Broussard, and Suzuki. So that'll work. I think that's better. That looks a heck of a lot better than before, and we don't have to pick up another winger over here. We have 284 wingers that are going to get +3 now. That's going to help out a lot there. We talk about the second line, power forward, 2A and 2A. If we could pick up probably a playmaker or something there. We'll swap some of these guys around just to get an idea of something that might potentially work here. It looks like nothing is the answer, unfortunately. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Actually, let's take a look and see how Eberle would go there. No, he doesn't want to go there. He doesn't want to go there. We're going to just, we'll leave it as is. Yeah, Barzal's actually fitting where he is now, too. See, that was the benefit of that new coach, and that is what we wanted to see right there, EA. +3 on the Nick Leddy and Mark Giordano. Oh, that makes me happy. I love it. I love every bit of fire in that coach. Still want to go out there and try to improve this team, I think. We're going to look for, again, I want to try one more defenseman here. I look at Taze and I worry about him at 26. I also worry about Thomas Hickey. I think it's going to be tough go about it there for them. We'll give it a couple games, I guess. We'll sim up a couple games here. We'll see how they do. I would assume we're going to have to go looking for some more players here, though. I don't want to go too deep into this. It does make me nervous having to start this season because I don't want to dig us a big hole here that we can't climb out of. So we'll just go a couple weeks here to see how these New York Islanders can do. I think they'll be all right. But I think they're going to need some improvements to be a legit contender. 0-1, 0-2, 0-3. Not how we wanted to start the season. Okay, we're done. All right, we're sick. 1-3-2. A rough start to the season. It makes me nervous. I know it's a small sample size. It's probably not a big enough one, to be honest, to justify removing guys from the team. But we got to do it. We're going to have to. We don't have a choice. We can't wait until a month into the season and go 2-12 and be like, oh, now's a great time to move players around. But looking at the way these guys are going, Pominville currently a plus. That's nice to see. Pominville and Vanek. So that line's working out right now. It's got to be this third line that worries me. Guys like Clutterbuck, I want to see replaced, I think, here. Because he is a lower overall and he's a -3. And he is $3.5 million a year. You look at the defense. Leddy and Giordano's doing all right. -1 out of Pollock and Brody. And then Hickey, no points, and a -2 out of Taze. So again, a little bit of a concern there. So let's see what we can find out here. Again, I'd like to look defense. I'd like to look winger here early. Again, the points, it's too early. It's a sample size type deal that just isn't big enough right now. But if we can find some decent players out here, I think we'll be all right. First thing we're going to do, though, is try to dump some cap here. I liked it. You guys are smart there. You said dump the cap separate from trying to trade the players. I like the suggestion. It makes all the sense in the world, because why would a team want to take on our bad contract? I make fun of teams about it all the time in real life. Like, oh, you would have got so much more, but you had to then tie on that ridiculous contract. So we'll see if we can find some suitors here for guys like Clutterbuck here real quick. No trades found. That is not good, Clutties. That is not good at all. So we're going to have to try to manually trade him. But we got to make that work. We have to, because he's too much for where he's playing at on this team. We look at other guys, Eberle, Leddy, Nelson, Giordano, Lee. I ain't worried about those guys. Butters seems like the big one here. Suzuki, same story, 3.35. Komarov, those would be the other guys we can talk about moving here as well. Other than that, everybody else seems pretty fairly priced. You can't beat that Barzal contract. So we'll have to go to the manual trade here and see if we can move around Clutterbuck to a team. We're probably going to have to pay them to take him, but we're going to have to do it. At the end of the day, that's what's got to be done here. We'll look at, again, the contracts, and everybody is taken care of. Yeah, perfect. We'll go Clutterbuck here. And we'll look at, I mean, we got plenty of cap space as is, but again, let's just see how much we can work with here. Carolina would be over the cap. Colorado could afford it, but I don't know if they're going to take that. We'll give it a try, though. Maybe they want a veteran presence on that team. Hey, who knows? They're obviously not going to take that, though, because they would have just sent that trade themselves, right? Yeah, perfect. So we'll have to throw on another pick here. Probably a decent one, and that scares me. A 6th and a 5th. I don't think that's going to be enough. Oh, it is. Perfect. See you later, Clutterbuck. Perfect. I like that. There's some more cap space to work with. Now we can talk about picking up some players. Already got some guys in mind here. Some friendly contract guys starting off over here in Florida with the one, the only Russian machine. Do they call him that over there in Florida? Probably not. Evgeny Dadonov. You look at this guy, 3.9 mil a year. Pretty solid numbers there. He fits on forward line too, which I really, really like. You put a guy there, we was talking about it. We could probably prefer not to, I should say, change up that first line. So if we can find really good players for the second line and improve it, that would be fantastic. And he wants to play on that second line. So that is great news for us. We're going to add Dadonov, and we're going to have to send back some prospects if I had to guess here. We're going to try to save the draft picks here if we can for a bit. So we're going to go with Holmstrom and Bellows. Holmstrom, Bellows for Dadonov. And what do you guys think about that? Trade rejected. Your question when you look at the trade block. I know there's nobody in there that interests either side. That's the challenge here. I know everybody always says, hey, go out there, trade for the guys that teams want to get rid of. That's true. But a lot of the time, those guys are not very good, and they have to fit the scheme. That's the tough part here, is finding the guys not only that, teams want to trade, but you have to find the guys that teams want to trade, and they would be actually willing to go out there and, fit your particular scheme, which is very difficult. We'll throw one in second here. Dadonov, DeMello, second, thing sort of trade block. You should check it out based on what you're asking. Cough up. It seems you haven't done that. Okay, fine. Not quite enough there, so we'll have to throw on another second, though, and I'm thinking we'll try 1 second. I don't know if that's going to do it still. No, okay. Hopefully we don't have to throw in our first-round draft pick. Again, want to save those as long as possible here. How many seconds we got left? We got 1, 2, hopefully a couple. We'll throw in a third second for Dadonov, 3 seconds, Bellows, and Holmstrom is not going to get the job done, though. We're going to have to, I don't want to, EA. We're not doing it. We are not going out and sending you more than these regular second round picks. Just come on. We already told you that this deal isn't going to fly as is. All right, you're going to do it to us. Let's throw on it first. There we go. Trade accepted. Dadonov is now a... What team are we playing for? A New York Islander. Good for Dadonov. All right, we'll leave the best lines there. All right, so let's take a look here and see what this is going to do to this team. I'm thinking Komarov's probably going to go, if I had to guess. Yeah. I don't think Komarov was ever playing in the first place. He just kind of slid in there. Dadonov will play instead. Again, EAMS with their line, so we'll have to switch that real quick. It was Lee on the first line with Eberle? Is it Eberle? Yes, Eberle. All right, we're good there. Dadonov's going to move to the second line now. Who he plays with, I would like to see it be Bailey, Horvat, and Dadonov. That seems like a decent combination. I guess maybe a playmaker would slide in there be better. Nelson will move Vanek. We'll move Pominville to this third line. Pominville go in there does not affect the overall, so we'll leave Nelson on the third line. Still a good defensive player, so I think he'll be all right there on the third line. Dadonov, I would like to see that +1 if we could make that happen. Now, can we make that happen? Yeah, we can. All right, so Nelson being up here actually will help that out. Bailey on the third line is a little bit suspect, but I'd rather have him playing on the third line where we can improve that particular line. We can't put Bailey in the last line there. The only other question is what happens if we put Vanek or Pominville instead of Vanek. That'll help it out. So we'll put Vanek on the fourth line. A sniper. I don't know how well he will do playing there on that fourth line. We will see. We'll give it a couple games once again probably here. Defense looks good. Make sure EA isn't messing with anything there. These special teams, again, we'll take a peek. Eberle, that is the power play of the 4. So Barzell, Bailey, Horvat, Giordano, and Eberle. That looks good there, I think. Yeah, probably. We'll check to make sure we ain't missing anything good here. Now, everything's good. +1. Happy to see the +1 there. Can't be too upset about that. We'll leave the 4-man as is. The penalty kill could use a little work. Obviously, Dadonov is probably not our man here to be killing off penalties. We'll put Pominville there. Maybe we'll put Nelson there. Maybe Brock Nelson can do it. He's a power forward. He can handle playing some defense there. They didn't agree with that, but I'd still rather him play there at the -1 than have, obviously, Evgeny Dadonov there. Dadonov, not as much of a defensive-minded guy. Giordano Polak. That would help with Letty plays there. We'll switch those two out there. Keeps the same overall there. The penalty kill, Horvat Brassard. That looks good there. Let's go ahead and, again, we'll sim up a couple games. I don't want to go too fast, but I do realize like the longer we go into the season, the easier it is to trade for some players. So if we can progress a little bit into the season, I think that would help us here a little bit. It's tough though, because you don't want to go too far and dig this team a hole. 1-3-2 is obviously not a big hole to start the season. There's a big win against Winnipeg. Going into Columbus, there's another big win, back to 3-3-2 on a season. That's good to see there. Big wins back to back there. 5-3-2 for these Arizona Coyotes. Better. Playing better. We'll give it a few more games, see what they can do here against Philly, Tampa, and Buffalo. Overtime loss, still gets the point. Tampa, that's a big W against Tampa. Wow. 7-4 or 7-4, 2-1, 7-4 is the Buffalo record. We're 6-3-3 right now. We'll give the game against Buffalo. Buffalo playing some good ball right now. Can we call it that, Hoggy? Some good puck? Can we beat them though? Yes, that is the answer to our question. Love seeing it. The 7-3-3 New York Islanders. We'll give it a couple more games here. Again, the farther we can get in, I feel like the easier it'll be. There's a big W there. There's a shootout loss. Not upset about the shootout loss. Let's head over to Florida. Dadonov's old stomping grounds. Can he take care of business there? He can. 9-3-4. 10-3-4. Love the way these guys are playing. We'll head over here to Pittsburgh. Got to stop eventually here. I feel like there's some room for improvements. You always got to wait, though, for that losing streak. Eventually, the team hits a losing streak, and that's when you want to see how they start playing. Right now, they're not hitting a losing streak. They're 12-3-4, and we're doing very, very well. There's a loss. See how they play against San Jose. There's another one. Anaheim, there's another one. There it is. There's a 3-game losing streak. Again, you watch for those. They come in spells, and you want to end it as quick as possible. The Kings ended it really quick for us, actually, 13-6-4. So we'll play one more game. One more game against these Blue Jackets. See how it goes. It was a loss, as kind of expected there. Here comes the losing streak. 13-7. Team's not playing bad, though. Playing some very good hockey. 29 points out of Barzal. You'll like to see that. That first line +3. Evan Barzal, the guy that should be the star of this team, playing like the star of this team. Eberle right behind him. Giordano at 18. 16 out of Lee. Horvat for 14. 14 out of Nelson. Dadonov not playing bad. 14 points, 24 games played. Worst player on the team right now is Cizikas. We was worried about that. He's got 1 point, and he's a -6. That's going to be the next guy that's got to go. That $3.35 million contract. Again, if we can find somebody that wants that contract, that will help us out mightily, I think, there. Derek Brassard is a -3 as well. Something to keep an eye on, but I like the way he plays. He's more of a two-way guy. I'm not too concerned. He fits everywhere if we ever have to swap him around. Taze is still on the team here at a +1. Let's check out the look, or take a look at the plus minuses here in general. So it's Nelson, Brassard, and Bailey. Bailey always seems to have a bad plus minus in this game. He's third lining it right now. Hickey's a 0 right now. He's flat. How's the entire defense doing? Because that's what we wanted to look at next, was improving the defense. Right now it is Hickey playing the worst, but he's got 9 points, so he's playing more of an offensive style game here for us. He's got 1 game winning goal. Take a look at, can we take a look at that? Yeah, we can. 22 giveaways, 10 takeaways, 15/5 for Taze. Not seeing the offense or defensive production here. He's not playing as much either. 19/7 for Nick Leddy, 16/11 for Mark Giordano, Polak 21/7. So not bad numbers there, really. But again, you got to realize there's always room for improvement. Hickey's who I'm looking at here. Hickey intrigues me at that 82 overall. I don't want to, though, when you consider, we'll take a look here. Devin Taze is a 700K. Hickey is 2.5. So he's actually probably the more ideal removal here because of that. And then Polak's an 83 overall as well. But if we can make it work, we can make it work. And I want to go defense. I got a guy in mind right here. He's from, actually, I don't know where he's actually from. That was close. That was a good catch. He plays in Toronto, though. A young lad by the name of Jake Muzzin, 85 years old. 85, dang, that is really old. Muzzin, I don't know if he can play on the ice that age, but you know what? 30's nice. 30's a nice age, too. 24 minutes plus 10, 2 goals, 12 assists, playing stout over there. First line minutes, and you take a look at the stats. He's balanced across the board. Not the greatest shot, but you don't really expect it. He puts a couple boards up, but what you gotta love about this guy is he fits in every single defensive pairing. Anywhere you need him, he'll go there and he'll play. $3.85 million contract. That's tough, but we're going to try to get this guy off of the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think it can really help this team out. Bolduc, how are you? Great. Nice to see you. Oh, we're on defenseman. No wonder we don't see any further guys that are in the AHL. So let's see here. Gotta have somebody laying around, right? Somewhere. Yo, Ho-Song's out there. Is that our best prospect right now? Yeah, Ho-Song is. We're going to throw Ho-Song on this deal. And we're going to throw on a first-round draft pick since we have it. I think we hurt that draft pick value. Yeah, we did. I was going to say that start of the season kind of hurt that value. But we're going to try to make this work. First and Ho-Song, they're not interested. I didn't really expect them to take that. But you always got to test the waters just to make sure you're not overpaying too much here. Any second-round picks, there's a second, there's a third. We're going to go a second here. A second plus for Muzzin. Unwilling to part was what you're asking for. We got to make this work over here, Toronto. We're giving up some good players and or we should say a good player and 2 draft picks for Muzzin. But everything, he fits everywhere. You need those type of guys on this team. We talked about how difficult it is to find these guys. We scoured through teams' rosters to find a guy that's got that kind of fit. Muzzin's got to be the man. The trade has been rejected once again. Muzzin, with 1 year left in his deal, you have to assume he's gonna be cheaper down the road, and that's the reason we want him. I want to hold off and I want to grab him. What 1 year deal? He's got a 2 firsts for a rental is what you're looking at. Obviously, Toronto has aspirations of re-signing him, but right now that's not the case. And you got to try to pick up Muzzin. But for now, it's not going to work. So we're going to go over to Calgary, try to pick up a forward to help this team. We're looking at Lindholm, $4 million, 85 overall, and 24 points in 29 games. Solid right there, +1. We'll take that on Calgary. He fits on forward line too. Again, key stuff here. We want to fix the bottom 6, but we have guys in the top 6 that are two-way players that we can stick down into the bottom 6 and help out this bottom 6. And I think picking up a guy like Lindholm, even though he is a playmaker, even though he ain't going to fit that bottom 6 role, he can help this top 6 out and improve this offense or down the road here. So we'll take a look there. Now we'll take a look at some players we can possibly trade here. Josh Bailey's got that trade value. You know, that's the interesting thing about a guy like Bailey. Is he third lining it right now? Is if he holds that trade value, do we get rid of him ever down the road? I feel like we're kind of, hurting ourselves there when you do that, though, because we're trying to build, and you don't want to, even a guy like him, he's a solid player. You don't want to kind of shoot yourself in the foot, per se, there. I'm liking, I don't know. Taze could go. He's got trade value. I like Hickey. Where's Hickey at? What was Hickey? He was the other guy to go, right? Hickey's got trade value. Actually, Hickey's got a little bit more trade value. Hickey might be the way to go here. He's currently what? Not got stats. He's currently 9 points in a plus-minus of 0. Hayes has 7 points on plus-minus of 1, but he's a lower overall. He's playing a little bit less. That is tough because you're making a commitment there. If we make one of those guys, walk out the door. But for now, we really can't even do that because I forgot we're already trying to consider Muzzin a player for this team. And he is not there yet, so we can't quite do that. Cizikas has to go, but I don't think they're going to want Cizikas. That's going to be the problem. If we do pick up somebody, we're assuming somebody like him goes out the door. We're going to add him. We're going to add him to the trade. We're going to add Koivula to the trade. And we're going to talk later, first round draft pick. Maybe, where's that going to put us at right there? I don't think we're close yet. Yeah, we're right. We're even, but I don't think they're going to take it when we're even. We're going to have to overpay. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to overpay for a guy like Lindholm. So we'll talk about another first round draft pick here. We want to save a couple if we can, because again, we want to try and pick up. That'll be it though. If we make this draft pick, we'll have 2 of them. We got to leave 2 for Jake Muzzin though. Just in case, that's who we're thinking about for the future. What if we just go a second though? Would you guys actually consider a second and a third for Elias Lindholm? Let's see what they have to say about that. Trade rejected. I question whether you look at our trade blog. You're quite far off on trade value. Okay, so that is not going to make you happy. I understand. I still love you guys, Calgary, and I'll love you even more if you happen to make a trade for Elias Lindholm via the New York Islanders. That'd be greatly appreciated. I keep looking at those first round draft picks. Want to use them. Want to send them to you, but we can't. We're still far off, so we'll go 2 seconds. For Lindholm, 1 second. That's all we can offer here is 1 second for Lindholm. There it is. That was easy. That felt a little easier than I thought. 2 first and a second for Lindholm. Again, I know. We're trying continuously. And again, if you see us make a mistake in this video, I will love to hear the, constructive criticism down below. Don't hate, but, provide proper answers here on where we can improve in certain areas. But right now, where we're at, I feel like we have to go out there and we have to find guys that fit the system. And they have to be moderately decent overall. And I think, guys like Lindholm, even though we paid 2 first and a second, it has to be done because they're not just going to give a guy like that away because he's a great player for free. So you have to somewhat overpay a bit there. But I think what we just did was trade away. No, we did not trade. I thought we traded away Taze there for a second. So we go and take a look at what we have in store now. Where is Lindholm? There's Dadonov, there's Eberle. Oh, Lindholm's clear up here. So again, we're not going to keep Lindholm on that first line. I'm going to put Eberle there. Lee goes here. And then Dadonov, Lindholm, Horvat. That looks good right there, actually. I like that. And that's perfect, really. Brassard and Boy, Anthony is what we're going to call you, pal. I think we might go, well, Brassard's a -3. And Anthony's a +5. So, no, we might actually keep it right there where we are. And we have Bailey, Nelson, and then Vanek, Pominville, and Brassard on the 4th line. So we'll see how the additions of Vanek and Pominville can help this team. We got them right where we want them. 80+ overalls on the 3rd line. Over on defense, again, nothing changing. Want to see the improvements if we can, but for now, Toronto's not budging. We'll see how this team does. Again, it's a small improvement. The defense, really, the reason we can wait a little bit here is because when we looked at the defense before, there wasn't anybody that was a minus, and that kind of stuck out. It was kind of balanced across the board there. I do want to see these contracts real quick for Toronto, though, before we talk too much Jake Muzzin here. He fits everywhere. How can you not like the guy that fits literally everywhere on this team? It's tough to find guys like that at a fair contract too, and that's what he's got. So let's see here. Muzzin, yeah, he's still UFA next. His value, it's got to go down. If we can truck through this season and then pick up a guy like Muzzin at the trade deadline, boy, would that be a big help for this team. Currently sitting, we'll take a look where we're at in the standings real quick, 13-7. It's a tough division. It is a very tough division. Currently sitting at 5th place in a wild card spot, 30 points, 4 teams ahead of us, even at 13-7. Like I said, it's going to be tough. You got the Carolina Hurricanes, the Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets struggle at 7-18. I'm still got to worry about them, but doesn't look like it. Probably just the Hurricanes. But let's get a couple of these games in. Again, we'll take a look at the goaltenders after we play a few more games here. But I think Varlamov and Grice, we can't really move those guys. They're kind of here for the long haul here. It's tough to find goalies. I mean, if we wanted to, I guess you could consider upgrading a goalie, because one of those guys probably do hold some trade value, and we could trade for a better goalie, and the other one could be a backup. But we'll see what kind of room we have to work with. Right now, this team is on a losing streak. Ooh, 14-12, not what you wanted to see there. 15-14, we brought it up. You get that losing streak going, you want to do what you can to stop that snide. Right now, not doing much at all for it. There's a winning streak coming back around here for these New York Islanders, 19-14. We're going to keep going. We're going to try to truck through this if we possibly can. There's a win against Toronto. The Devils, here comes the win streak. Nice to see New York bounce back here, 22-14. And 4, there's a loss against the Bruins and the Rangers, but we picked up the win in the back-to-back to the Detroit Red Wings there. 3 times they played the Rangers in 2 weeks. Not even 2 weeks, in about a week, 8 days. That's crazy. So 26-17-6, looking good. Looking good. We're going to get all the way up to the trade deadline to where we think we can get some players a little bit cheaper here. We'll take a look at how the team's playing. All-Star break, not bad. 26-17-6, we'll take that. 5th place in the division, that's tough. It is very tough, but we brought up how tough this division is. There's a win against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Over there against the Philly and Washington, losing that back-to-back. 30-20, though, that's decent. The Vegas Golden Knights going to fall to the New York Islanders, as are the Coyotes, Avalanche, and not the Red Wings. Unfortunate, but 33-21-6. Cannot be upset about that. Seems like a decent season there. We'll get this San Jose game out of the way. 34-21. You like seeing that. That's a good season so far, I think. That's a playoff team, 3rd place in the division, 65 points out of Jordan Eberle. Talk about having a great season. We'll see how the entire team's doing, though. I'm glad to see that first line's prospering. Barzal and Lindholm on a second line, 60 points. Good to see, fellas. Good to see. Plus 26. Looking good out there. Giordano plus 13. Dadonov, 39 points. Not producing at the highest of clips, but you can't be upset about 40 points in 61 games. That's solid there. 39 for Horvat. Brody with 25. Letty decent. Bailey is, oh, there's Bailey. That's what I was worried about. That's the thing we was worried about at the beginning of this video. We talked about the Islanders. They always had these guys in a trade block like Josh Bailey, and you always look to trade for them, and they're always so bad with the plus minuses. And it sucks because you want to keep guys like that. That's an 85 overall. You think he can help this team, but when he's a minus 15 and he's $5 million a deal or a year kind of guy, you wonder what that's going to do if you keep him on the team. How's the rest of these guys looking? Brassard, again, a minus 13. Nelson, a minus 9. Nelson's the other one. You had Nelson, you had Bailey, and both of them are struggling right now. It looks like Hickey minus 4, Tays minus 2. Hickey's kind of slowed down since the start of the season, as has Tays as far as points are concerned, but they're on the third line. You kind of expect that. 19 hits, so Tays ain't much of a hitter. He's got less on a block shots, less giveaways. That's the thing, but he's pretty much less everywhere. I guess that's because he's played a full minute and a half less per game compared to Hickey there. But I still think I like... That's tough. I want to say I like Hickey better, but it's a +1 difference, and he's a -2. We're going to replace one of them. I guess we might have to go with Hickey. It's tough. It's tough to bite that bullet, but you're going to do it for the Muzzinator because he's coming home to the New York Islanders. We're calling his hometown New York from now on. Muzzin, what you got for us, pal? Over here in Toronto, it's the trade deadline. It's a rental. The Leafs haven't extended it yet in this game. You might as well get something for him when he's got a year left on that deal. What, am I wrong? Am I wrong, Toronto? You act like you're trying to win a Stanley Cup. You know, we all know you're getting bounced by Boston in the first round. You might as well get something for him, all right? Did we just nonchalantly throw that in there? I don't think the Toronto fans are going to like it. It's okay, Toronto. We love you. It's all good over here. We're going to go, again, to first. What about just one first? What about just one first this late? Trade rejected. You have a P. Roach says here in Toronto for this exact end. We said no already. You have to go offer something different if you expect us. Oh, that's kind of rude. Later in the season, Toronto. You don't have to get all snippily with us. Snippily? Snippily. I like that word. Snippily. We're going to try, though. We're going to try to 2 on 2/3 and a first. Trade rejected, totally unwilling. Now, EA, this is where we talk about how there's 1 year left and nobody in their right mind is giving up 2 firsts and Ho-Sung for Jake Actually, Ho-Sung, hang on a second here. Ho-Sung, how you been playing this season, pal? Ooh, +21. Ooh, you ain't getting Ho-Sung. I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. We're going to keep him, and maybe we don't have to trade for a forward. Then we'll just call him up and see how he does there. We'll look at Brody Lee. Who was it on defense that we was going to get rid of here for you? It would have been Hickey. Hickey? Yeah, Hickey. We'll go with Hickey there. We'll drop Hickey 2 first and Muzzin. Trade rejected. Come on, Toronto. Work with us here. What if we throw on Wotherspoon? What if we do that? You're going to just tell us no again, straight to our face like that? We're crying over here. We're begging and pleading for you to help us out. We want to win a Stanley Cup, and you're in our way for the first round. Again, just can't stress it enough. We'll throw on a third. Trade accepted. That's what it took. The extra 3rd round pick. It was tight, but we got Muzzin at the trade deadline. We paid a lot for him, but we expect big things out of Jake Muzzin for this team. We'll see what EA has to say. First and foremost, they want us to put all the players that don't play well together on the first 2 lines. As per the usual, Bailey, Nelson, who am I missing here? Oh, Horvat's still on the first line. There we go. Horvat, Lindholm, Dadonov, Anthony, Nelson. Oh, we wanted to bring the call up in there too, didn't we? We got to call up Ho-Sung, who's been playing so well. And I'm pretty sure I'm saying his name wrong. He's been in the AHL before. And I just remember seeing his name the first time, pronouncing it completely wrong. Can we just call him straight up? No, we can't. Okay, so we'll look what we got laying around here. We'll cancel that. Go back to the NHL, who we got laying around. Komarov's not been playing anyway. We'll bring up Ho-Sung. No? Waiver eligible players must clear waivers before being reassigned. Every team will have a chance to claim these players. Who's being waived? Is it Komarov? So we'll try Mayfield, Baker type. What are you talking about? Who's on waivers? Oh, player claimed on waivers. The following player has been claimed by Nashville. Okay, so that worked. All right, perfect. See you later. Nice knowing you, Mayfield. Good to see you. We'll bring Ho-Sung in here, see what he can do for this team. Hopefully something good. Bring a little bit more fight to that bottom line there. Vanek, Brassard, Pominville. And who was we going to take out? Who was the one? Oh, that's right. I forgot. The one struggling. Oh, Brassard's a -13. I was going to say the one struggling is the $5 million man. Now, Komarov is interesting here. He's not played all season. We might try him out there. I don't think we're going to have room for a host song by the looks of it here. He's a right wing. He can't win draws, but he's just tearing it up in the AHL. I think you got to find room. Face-off 60. I don't think we're going to, though. I don't think there's room. And Brassard struggling is a big concern for me, as is Nelson and Bailey. But can you really manage to take those guys out here? I don't think you can. An all defensive line there, and it looks good like that. What if we put Nelson? No, we're not going to. We're going to wait for Vanek's a minus or a +2, 16 points. That might be an interesting one there. But the Brassard one's what's really sticking out here. -13, but we don't have a center to replace him. On defense, we have Muzzin. You're not going to go there. But, you know, oh, baby. Oh, yeah. You see that? You see that? I told you Muzzin was a great addition. +3 for both lines. That is exactly what this team needed to become a Stanley Cup contender. Love seeing it. You know, I'm saying it's like Hosang or Osang or none of the above. But nonetheless, I think we're going to leave it where we're at. I think you have to. I think you got to. Lindholm, Eberle, I mean, these guys are playing really well on offense. Point per game players, and defense just bang. Bang. That's the most I can say about that. It's just a big bang. Goaltending is Varlamov, currently at 9.4. Grice at 9.07. So they're playing good ball. Again, I don't know if we can say that in hockey terms, but here we go. We do not have any trade assets really left anyway, right? Just to make sure here, because if there was something to replace, it would be a center. We'll take a look real quick just to make sure we don't have any value laying around here. Because if we could replace the center and who is Brassard right now, that would be probably nice. And we do have some cap space, $3 million to work with here. Take a look at the trade value on all these guys. Yeah, I don't see much. Brody Lee, Palag, Hayes, Hosang's got the trade value. If we needed to really send somebody out, Hosang could be the man. As far as draft picks are concerned, I don't see a lot. We do have 1 second. We have 2 seconds. 2 seconds to work with. We'll take a look here just in case. Hate to leave a stone unturned here. We'll look for a center. I want to believe Brassard can take care of business here. That's what bothers me a little bit here. Is I think Brassard's got what it takes. It's just that he's having a down season, a really down season, though, like by 1.5 miles. He's every time he goes out on the ice, he allows a goal type of bad season. So that's kind of concerning player type. Again, we'll talk two-way forwards. We will probably go salary's got to be lower than that, so we'll go to about salary around. I don't know. Let's try 4 mil. 4 mil should be able to work there. And then as far as an overall is concerned, again, we can't get a high overall. I mean, we'd like to look for one, but we probably ain't going to make it happen. So we'll go about 84 overall. That's probably a friendly level there. Too expensive. Rust is interesting. Thomas for the Blues is interesting. He's -13. Not that interesting. Rust is a -9. Wow, what is he doing way up there on the top line for 19 minutes a night? The Rangers, Hito is decent. Again, the value's a little pricey there. Let's go by overall here, EA. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Dzingel, a -12. Oh, that's unfortunate. I liked what I seen there. Rust is a -9. Oh, there we go. The not 60 points. Oh, he's top line. He's flatlining it over there. He fits on forward line 1 and line 1 only, though. So that's a concern. A little bit to a lot. He's probably too pricey. Williams has always been a liability anytime we ever sign him, so we're not going to touch him. McCann, 13 minutes a night, 26 points, +7. I like that. But he seems to only fit on our forward line 1, so that might not work. But again, we're just talking downtown Connor Brown. All penalty killing lines, all power play lines. I don't think we're going to be able to make anything happen here. I think we're going to have to stick with what we have, and hopefully that'll work for us. There is Brassard again, -13. I thought he was -22. -13, 15 points, 24 penalty minutes. Let's see how else he's playing here. Let's take a look at these stats real quick, just to see if we can feel a little bit better about this. 14 blocks, 31 giveaways, 35 takeaways, 72 hits, 48% in the dot. I mean, it's not terrible. Let's compare that to a guy like LeBlanc here, who is 31 by 32. It ain't really that bad. But you hate to be tied down to one centerman. That is the problem we are having here. And it is a guy like Brassard who is a two-way forward. Even if we swap him with another two-way forward, I guess, who knows how that's going to turn out. I'm looking at McCann here. McCann might be the one option out there. He's not really scouted that well. We're going to trade for him and see what they have to say. I don't think they're going to give him to us, to be honest, but we're just going to give it a quick try here, where we offer up literally everything we have left. Again, we're trying. We're trying our best to become a Stanley Cup team. And if that means we have to trade away all of our assets, we have to trade away all of our assets. Because we've learned in the past, even when we haven't traded away all of our assets, we'd be very behaved. They go out there and say, 60 wins, bounced in the first round. Send it. Trade accepted. That was a lot. That was a whole lot for that guy. But we'll see how this turns out. We'll see how this turns out. Again, it was going to be our last trade. We're going to play from here on out and see how these guys do. And I think we'll be all right. I do. I think we'll be just fine. Hopefully, that's a good replacement for Brassard, who has been holding this team down for quite a while here. We'll replace him, and McCann's going to play there. Hopefully, he doesn't mind. How's he feel about the fourth line? He's good everywhere. See, he's a good team player. I knew he'd like playing with us. That's nice to see there. And everything else should be good. Make sure they didn't mess with their defense. They messed with their defense here, where the +3 is going to be upset. Yeah, it's perfect. So we can go ahead and start simming up the rest of this season. And hopefully, these New York Islanders can make the playoffs. Very defensive bunch we have here, and defense wins championships though, so I think we're going to be all right here. 2 straight wins, 3 straight wins, 4 straight wins. I like what I'm seeing here, fellas. You're playing some great March hockey. Bring this into April, and we will be looking very nice. But we can't take these losing streaks, and here they come. 4 straight losses. This is what kills you, these long losing streaks. You got to be able to curb them quickly. There we go. 2 straight wins. Overtime winner in New Jersey. Gotta win this stretch here. It's gonna be a tough stretch. There's a big win against Buffalo. It's gonna be close. 3rd place in the division right now, heading into the last week of the season. Can the New York Islanders make playoffs? The answer is yes. It's gonna be the Pittsburgh Penguins, McCain-less team of the Pittsburgh Penguins. What can these Penguins do though against our New York Islanders? Only two less wins. Only 2. I think we'll take that. Barzell, 79 points, 75 out of Lindholm. Lindholm getting to play some games this season, 87. I'm at 5 games in hand when he got traded. That's crazy. 74, 71. A lot of guys, 4 guys with over 70 points. So the offense was buzzing this year. And he throw a couple more guys in there over 50. That's looking nice. Let's see how Brassard finished, or not Brassard, but yeah, Brassard finished with a 13. Bailey just continues getting a minus going down. But who was it? McCann finished at a +5. What was he, a 7 before? So he did drop a couple. I ain't concerned about it, though. We played good hockey in the last month of the season, so I think we'll be all right there. I want to see how the goaltenders are looking. 906 and 916. Grice looking like he got the last start there, but Varlamov's been great. He's been solid for us this season, so that's good to see. As far as the standings are concerned, the New York Islanders had 102 points. So yeah, great season. Unfortunate they're getting stuck playing the Pittsburgh Penguins in round number 1. But we'll see how this goes. 2.74 goals against on the season. And what, 3.14 or 3.1 goals. Goals for. I said goals for before. 3.1 for goals for. 2.74 for the goals against. So a solid season there. Power play goes 40. Power play is decent. The penalty kill is stellar. 82.5. Not, oh geez, Pittsburgh's 88.4. That's ridiculous. Maybe it wasn't that stellar. We'll take a look at the power play unit before we jump into this, I guess. And well, here's what we have. We're zeros across the board. I don't see anything, astounding there. Brody on the first line there would bump that up a little bit. That does not change anything. Again, we just move things around just to make sure. So it looks like Brody does better on the first line than Giordano does, which is kind of terrifying because Brody's not as defensive as Giordano is. That ain't bad though. He'll work out for us. You look at Bailey, Anthony, McCann, and you know what it is with Brassard there no more. I thought Brassard was pretty good on that penalty kill. Horvat will get the job done, I think. Let's take a look at what we got later on here. Josh Bailey does not belong in a penalty kill. That is probably our problem. That guy's like, what, a minus 18 on a year? Was that what it was? Minus 18? So we'll see if there's somebody else. Maybe Nelson does the trick. I think he had a bad season too, though. That was the thing. It might have just been that line. A -6. Still better than what Bailey did. His defensive awareness, 88, stick checking, 89, 84, shot the block. So he's not terrible. They can get the puck out at a decent clip. We'll try Nelson there, see what he thinks about playing. That did not help. That actually hurt it right there. Can you best lines just the power play? Probably not there. Maybe it's our good friend Anthony that needs to get out of here. What if we put Bo Horvat there instead on the second unit? What if we put Bo right here? Bo, that doesn't affect anything. We keep Anthony there. Nelson still does not belong on the penalty kill, apparently. I thought that would work. Apparently, it's not going to. Maybe Anders Lee can do it again. He's a +33. That might be our answer. But he's playing first line minutes. I forgot about that. So we don't want to put him out there if he's going first line. I guess we're going to be stuck with what we had, which is Bailey. But we did improve the first line a little bit. They're getting a +1, I think, across the board. The penalty kill, again, it's usually flat, and it is. We'll take the zeros across the board. A lot of times it's actually a -1 in the chemistry. So we're doing good there. We're ready to go. So here we go, off to Pittsburgh for the first 2 games of this series. What can these New York Islanders do? Game 1, that's a 4-1 victory. That's what you want to see. Head into Pittsburgh, assert authority. That was some proper language there. And going out there and showing who's boss. Can we do it in Game 2? The answer is no. It is 6 Penguins, 2 Islanders, and that's just not what you want to see. The one thing that's going to be difficult for these Penguins and Islanders is Islanders containing this potent Penguins offense. Can they do it? Right now, it's looking like the answer is no. 5-0 loss to the Penguins in game number 3. Heading home, though, you got to take this one. You got to take this to even out the series. Can they do it? It's the big question. Yes, 3-1. So we're going back to Pittsburgh. Series tie 2 apiece. Can the New York Islanders take care of business in Pittsburgh? Be a good win if it is, and there it is. A 4-3 overtime win by the New York Islanders. A chance to take the series in Game 6 at home against the Pittsburgh Penguins, and they will not do it. We're going to a Game 7. It's gonna be a biggie in Pittsburgh. What can the New York Islanders do? It's gonna be a tough game. We'd love to go out there and simulate that AHL game. Why not? Let's get period number 1 out of the way. It is 1-0 Islanders early. There's Dadonov. That's why we picked the man up to score some goals. Hopefully this game can remain low scoring. It's not going to, though, because Marino's going to score a goal to be quickly followed up by Anders Leon Varlamov. What a big answer by these New York Islanders in the second, right when we thought, uh-oh, this could get ugly. A quick answer by Lee. You'll love to see it. And there's another one, this time Josh Bailey. It is 3-1 Islanders. Let's finish this period up. Let's bring it to the third. See what the Islanders can do here. They just got to hold off these Penguins for one more period. They got a 2-goal lead to work with. Matt Murray with a big save there on McCann. Murray's having himself a good game there. There's a Penguins goal to bring this game back within 1, but the New York Islanders again answering ever so quickly, getting that goal right back. This time again, Anders Lee right after Malkin scores. Not even 2 minutes later, Anders Lee puts one in the back of the net. You'll love to see it. These Islanders look like they're poised ahead to the second round of playoffs. Upsetting, shall we say, the Pittsburgh Penguins. It was the 2 seed. The Islanders looking good here. There's the game sealer right there. The empty netter by Eberle looking good. The Islanders advancing to the second round in playoffs. The big question is, who do we face? Was it this division? Was it ours that had the really good top team in the league? I want to say it was this division, wasn't it? The Rangers, was it it couldn't have been the Rangers. Let me look at the standings real quick. The Rangers had 7 games, won their first game. Let's take a look here. Let me find out the Rangers upset the top team in the Metro here. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Oh, yeah, they did. The Hurricanes, 113 points. I thought so. I thought somebody had a lot of points. It was the Hurricanes. The Rangers coming in with 94 points, upsetting the Hurricanes, doing the dirty work for us. Now, how do these New York Islanders match up against the New York Rangers? That's the big question. Got home ice advantage here against the Rangers. A 3-0 shutout in game number 1. Both teams coming off grueling 7-game series. And right now, the Islanders look to have the momentum more than the Rangers, though. That's a 2-0 series lead heading into New York. There's another big W. 8-0 win. Stomp on them. Put the foot on the gas pedal and don't stop. Please do not, EA. Please do not give us the reverse sweep here. I know you guys love doing that. There's nothing scary than a 3-0 series lead in this game. Please pick up the victory here and end it. There it is, the 4-game sweep of the Rangers. The New York Islanders are heading to the conference finals against who? None other than the Sergei Bobrovsky, Alexander Barkov, Jonathan Huberdeau-led Florida Panthers. It's a 3-2 series, or a 3-2 loss to start the series. The Panthers 9-2. They're hot themselves here in the playoffs, it looks like. So it's going to be a tough series. Would like to steal one here if we can. There we go. Home game. Just realized we had the home ice advantage. A big one, too. 1-0. Quite the defensive struggle heading into Florida for game number 3. These Islanders need to take it, I think. And they got one. 6-3. That's good. At the very least, now they're going to split the series, or split the 2 games on the road here before heading back home. We'll see if they can steal another one. No, they do. A 2-0 shutout. And this team's defense is all of a sudden showing up and just locking everyone down. Nothing over 3 goals so far against these Panthers in this series. Can the streak continue here in game 5 at home? We had to talk about it. That's a 6-2 loss to the Florida Panthers. And what is that? That makes the series 1, 2, 3. What is that? It's 3-2. So it's a 3-2 series. I might have lied. There's one thing that scares me more than a 3-0 series lead, the 3-1 series lead. Something else that happens very often in this game, more than anything, is the 3-game win streak of the team being down 3-1 in the series. Can we prevent it here in Florida is the big question. A 1-0 loss. Here we go. Here we go. Oh my goodness. All right, here we go. Game 7, conference finals, Stanley Cup appearance on the line. It doesn't get better than this. Jake Muzzin says, let me get involved here. There you go, Muzzin. Love to see it. Period number 1 is complete. We'll get 2 out of the way, and the Islanders find themselves up 2-0 early. This time, Brock Nelson heading into the 3rd period. These New York Islanders have got these guys completely locked down. Can they continue to do it? Penalty kill looking superb. There's a goal. There's a goal by the Florida Panthers. They're back within 1. It is Hoffman. The question is, can this team respond? They've done a very good job so far in the playoffs of quickly responding, the team scoring goals and just kind of, knocking any sort of breath out of them that they may have regained to try to get back into this game. Right now, it's not happening. Right now, it's Sergei Bobrovsky playing very good. It has been all Islanders in this period, and there's the game tire. There it is. We talked about it. Oh, Eberle answering right back. There we go. That is what we wanted to see. 60 seconds later, 59 if you want to be exact. Eberle right out there. Howard puts one in the back of the net, scores on Bobrovsky. We are under 2 minutes left in this game, and the Florida Panthers are going to have to pull the goalie and try to make something happen. They cannot. The New York Rangers are heading to the Stanley Cup Finals. This could be it, fellas. This could be our year. It could be. Maybe. Let's hope so. Who we got in the finals? Come on, EA. Somebody easy? Somebody easy just for us? Oh, we'll take it. The Sharks. We'll take it. They're a really good team, but I think they're a team that's not like an offensive powerhouse, which is something we seem to struggle with there in Pittsburgh, but we did get over the hump there. But we'll see how we can do here. A big shutout against the San Jose Sharks in game 1. Again, the home team. Some upsets happening this season in the playoffs, it looks like. I guess we had 102 points, though. So I get, the Pittsburgh didn't have a lot of points. Always a little bit weaker over there. So I guess it makes sense. So I'd be the home team. Game 2, though, is going to be a 2-1 loss to the San Jose Sharks. Game number 3, 4-3 overtime. Back up 2-1 in the series. This could be it. This could be our year. Back and forth, and back and forth. Back home we go. This could be the team that wins it all here. Whoever can jump out ahead in game number 5, it's going to be the San Jose Sharks. I like calling them San Jose. I understand it's San Jose, but it sounds cool. Probably should clear that up. Somebody probably told me that like a million times now. Like, hey, it's not San Jose, by the way. Let's get period number 1 out of the way. Nothing going. Give us the second. There we go. New York Islanders, Brody and Anders Lee, both putting goals into the back of the net. Now, can we hold off these Sharks in the 3rd period is the big question. Power play Sharks. That was a long power play. I was going to say killed it off. Must have been a double minor, maybe even a 5. There's a goal by the Islanders. Ice it. Ice it, baby. 4-0 win by the Islanders. We're heading to a Game 7 in the Stanley Cup Finals, looking for our first Stanley Cup victory here in the series. Boy, would it be nice to go out and get that done here, heading home. They're saying into San Jose. It's a home game here for the Islanders in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. And bang! End it. End it right now. 4-1 after 1. Vanek, Dadonov, Bailey, Anthony, my big friend. I'm sorry, Brent Burns, but your 1 goal does not match up to our Islanders 4. We are 60 minutes away, minus 20. Good catch there, right? 40 minutes away from being Stanley Cup champions. Send it. Oh, the comeback. The comeback. They're within 2. Anything can happen here in the 3rd. We've blown leads in the 3rd period before. It's only 2 goals. Got to see Varlamov play good hockey here. Big save on Brent Burns. McCann on Dell. Dell again. Oh, they got Dell in there. We got to put more out on him. We got to. 4-2. Half a period left to play. And the New York Islanders will be hoisting the Stanley Cup in 2020. Let's do it. Power play Sharks killed it off and killed it off very quickly here. 7 minutes. I can't stop looking at the clock. That's all I got left. Under 5. Islanders 4. San Jose Sharks 2. They're going to have to think about pulling a goalie here quickly because they are running out of time. Here we go. Under 2. Can we get the game icer, New York? Can we get the game icer? Doesn't matter. 4-2 win. Stanley Cup champs, baby. Stanley Cup champs. Woo! Oh man, that is a chip off the shoulder like you don't even know. Finally, Finally bringing a team to the promised land. It's the San Jose Sharks falling to the New York Islanders, and we have brought this New York Islanders team a Stanley Cup. We may have ruined their entire future, but for now, they got a Stanley Cup. The Art Ross, the Kucherov Memorial, Giordano getting a Norris. Excuse me? All right, I didn't realize that. Is that a glitch? Why is Giordano on the Flames there? This last year, maybe it didn't update. That's what it is. Okay, that makes sense. Let's update this. We're a little excited here, fellas, all right? We're missing stuff. Got to sim up an extra game here. We got to anyway, because we got to take a look at this. Let's take a look at this little message EA has for us right here. What do you got, EA? What do you got? Your Stanley Cup playoff champion, New York Islanders. I knew they had something nice for us. Love it. Look at it all day. All day, every day. Let's take a look at these awards, though. They're actually out this time. Your Stanley Cup champions, in case you did not know, the New York Islanders. Over here in the individual award department, Connor McDee's with the Art Ross, the heart going to Draisaitl. That's an interesting one. McDavid getting the most points, but his teammate getting the heart. James Norris going to Ekman Larson. The Lady Bing going to Kuznetsov. The Calder going to Natchez. There we go, Barzell. Get yourself a Conn Smythe. Love it. Vezina, the Hellebuck, the Hart going to, or the Jennings going to Hart. Hart going to Hart. Be a nice one. Bill Mastodon to Hamonic, and then Donovan. Okay, Jack Adams. Selke, Ryan O'Reilly. That's all he does is take home the Selke these days. And your Ted Lindsay winner, Leon Draisaitl. Your Maurice Richard winner, Alex Ovechkin. Oh, look, you guessed there. Didn't have to look at it. But your Stanley Cup winners, the New York Islanders. If you guys enjoyed this video, a big thumbs up. Subscribe is always appreciated, never required. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.